Kayla Harrison has officially signed for the UFC. As we come accustomed to now, Dana White took to Instagram or Twitter or just released a short video last night to release the huge news that has somewhat broke the world of MMA. It broke the internet for the world of MMA. That Kayla Harrison will be joining, has signed for the UFC and will be competing at UFC UFC 300 against none other than former champion Holly Holm. For those of you that don't know, where have you been? But I'll give you a little rundown on Kayla Harrison. She's a two-time Olympic gold medalist at the London 2012 and Rio 2016 games in judo. She holds a 17-1 MMA record. Of those 17 wins, 6 have come via KO or TKO. She's got 6 subs and just 4 decisions. I'll come back to this a little bit later, but she's never made the 135-pound bantamweight limit, which she has to do at UFC 300. Her last fight with a catchweight bout at 150 pounds against former UFC star Aspen Ladd. She is a back-to-back PFL tournament champion. So let's jump into it. Kayla Harrison signs for the UFC. This is huge news for not only the UFC, but for PFL as well. From what we understand from tweets from Ariel Helwani, Don Davis, the PFL chairman, believed that Kayla or released the information that Kayla Harrison had one fight left on her PFL contract. Kayla and her team believed it had expired, so it'll be interesting to see how that was resolved, how that is going to play out going forwards. But what we do know is that Kayla Harrison is now a member of the UFC roster. She's a UFC bantamweight. And what a scoop this is. What a coup this is for the UFC. She's a massive star, Kayla Harrison. She's got an aura. I've been in a room with her, I've interviewed her, I've spoken to her before. You know, she has a massive aura about her. She exudes confidence. But what I will say, and what is going to be a massive factor in this fight, she's a big girl. She's heavily muscled. She's got a big, thick back, thick shoulders. She's never made bantamweight. She competed at featherweight throughout her whole PFL career. Her last fight was a catch weight of 150. She's competed at lightweight. She has never made the 135-pound limit. And that's got to be a massive factor, because just how much is it going to take out of her trying to get down to the limit? She is only 33 years old, so she's got youth on her side. She's the ultimate competitor, Kayla Harrison. She is a massive star, and it's like I said earlier, it's a massive signing for the UFC. But it does have that asterisk. If she makes 135, how much are they going to take out of her game? And can she make 135? Who knows? Does she miss weight? We'll have to wait and see. But we'll have to wait for UFC 100 to see that. But what I will say is, what a dance partner she's got. Former UFC champion, former multiple-time UFC title challenger, Holly Holm. Holly Holm could potentially have the best resume in the best strength of schedule, the best resume in MMA history. She will have fought Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, Amanda Nunes, Chris Cyborg, the current champion. She holds a win over Raquel Pennington, and now Kayla Harrison. It's going to be a really good fight. We know what Holly Holm's all about. She's quick. She can grind. She's currently ranked number 5 in the bantamweight division. Let's just take that into account, that we've got a new signing. Yes, okay, it's not some sort of amateur signing, but it's a new signing in Kayla Harrison, coming in to challenge someone who's in the top 5 in the world with Holly Holm. Straight off the bat, I think if Kayla Harrison makes the weight well, I think she probably holds the advantage over Holly Holm. She needs to work on her striking, as we saw against Larissa Pacheco when she lost last year. But she's the ultimate competitor. No stone will be left unturned. She trains out of ATT. So, Mike Brown and the gang down there will not allow her to take this fight lightly. And I don't for one second believe that she will take this fight lightly. What I'm really interested and excited to see is something that we saw when she competed in Invicta. Kayla Harrison is allowed to use elbows. Now, in a press call that I was on a couple of years ago, she pleaded with the PFL to allow her to use elbows. They don't allow elbows to a grounded opponent. If you, I'll put up a picture now of when Kayla Harrison fought Courtney King in Invicta 43 in November 2020, where she was allowed to use elbows. And if for audio listeners, let's just say it's a bloodbath. She dominated King when she got the fight to the ground, and she put her in positions that she didn't want to be in, and brutalized her with elbows, leading to the TKO stoppage. Holly Holm is more than experienced enough to deal with what Kayla Harrison brings to the table, but it's the aura, it's the fight week. Is UFC 300 a good card to have Kayla Harrison on? I really do think it is, because you've got massive stars on that card, and we haven't even got the main event yet. It's very, Bo Nickel-esque, where he will just sort of blend into the background. I think most of the hype around Kayla Harrison will sort of come out, as it were, um, prior to UFC 300, so she can just concentrate on that weight cut during fight week. Like I said, she is a big girl. She's heavily muscled. How much is it going to take out of her game trying to make 135 or 136 because it's a non-title bout? We will see. But what I have no doubt about is that she is going to be a massive star. We saw a few years ago that she was kind of set to join join the UFC. Sorry, when she was in the crowd, and there's that famous video of her really angry when Juliana Pena upset Amanda Nunes because she thought that she may get the Amanda Nunes fight in the UFC. Obviously, that never came to fruition at the time, but now it does. Now she is signed for the UFC. Interestingly, I am interested to see what her contract is with the UFC, because at the end of the day, the PFL and Bellator merger is supposedly quite financially beneficial for all fighters. Kayla Harrison's now left the PFL, kind of shelved Bellator as well. So I'm interested to see what her contract would be potentially. But I think this is exactly why the Chris Cyborg fight didn't happen. Chris Cyborg has been calling out Kayla Harrison for a number of years, and on my outlandish predictions for the year, I predicted that Harrison Cyborg will not happen this year, and at the moment it seems that my prediction may come true. I did see Chris Cyborg try and sort of gain some of the limelight back from Kayla Harrison signing for the UFC by saying, "Look, I want to re-sign for the UFC, and I want to fight a rematch with Amanda Nunes at UFC 300." I don't see that happening, to be honest, but stranger things have happened. Two more things that I want to just comment on this really quickly is, I think with a win, Kayla Harrison gets a title shot. She enters the UFC as the UFC's biggest star. There's no doubt about it. Female star, sorry, female star. There's no doubt in my mind she's a bigger household name, with all respect to the champion, but she's a bigger household name than Raquel Pennington. Um, the only one that really comes close, I think, would be either Holly Holm or Miesha Tate. And if she beats Holly Holm, she probably gets a title shot. She'll insert herself into that top five, and she'll demand a title shot. Could that then get Amanda Nunes out of retirement? Who knows? But these are all if buts and maybes. We'll have to wait for UFC 300 to find the outcome. And the second thing I just wanted to touch on is how good an announcement this was from Dana White. More often than not, we have people, no disrespect, because he does what he does, but Ariel Helwani with the Brock Lesnar news for UFC 200 leaked the news essentially, and it came when it did come out. It wasn't really a surprise for fans. As far as I'm concerned, and I keep my sort of nose very close to the ground with all things MMA. I speak to multiple people every day, every week. I'm in multiple chats I'm really ingrained and across the sport. Nobody saw this coming. Absolutely nobody saw this coming. It wasn't like the Brock Lesnar news where Ariel Helwani leaked it before it came out. We did get the tweet from Ali Abdelaziz, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe is Kayla Harrison's coach, saying, essentially saying, we've got some news coming out later today. That was yesterday. But nobody saw this coming. And that's what made the scoop, and that's what made the announcement, sorry, just so big. Dana White, as he always does in his war room, takes to Instagram, takes to X, Twitter, or whatever you want to call it these days, posts a video, dropping probably, as of yet, the biggest news of the year. And this could very bit well materialize into the biggest story of the year. Kayla Harrison signing for the UFC. If she beats Holly Holm at UFC 300, she could get a title shot. I think she will get a title shot if she wins in April. And nobody knew about it. That's what I loved about this announcement is it was a complete surprise to many. Being from the UK, I woke up, checked my phone in the morning, multiple sources and outlets reporting that was true. And then I saw Dana White's video. It's a really, really fun way to announce what is a major signing for the UFC. I don't think people quite understand just how big a star Kayla Harrison is. She's got a phenomenal backstory. She's a phenomenal human being. I've met her. She's a really, really nice person as well. And I'll be rooting for her to do well in the UFC because at the end of the day, that bantamweight division for the women at the moment does need a little bit of firepower. It's not a bad division. It's very competitive. But if we look down the rankings, you've got no humongous names in the rankings, or not many humongous names, I should say, in the rankings. Raquel Pennington, she's more than deserving of the belt, but she's not a massive name. Juliana Pena, again, I think her last fight against Amanda Nunes kind of let her down a little bit. Moira Bueno Silva, Ketlin Vieira, Irene Aldana's got quite a big name due to her Mexican background. And then you've got Holly Holm, the lady who's welcoming Kayla Harrison to the UFC. Like I said, I really like the announcement. I'm going to keep a real close eye on fight week for UFC 300 anyway, but even more so now that we've got to see Kayla Harrison make 136, the bantamweight limit in the UFC for a non-title bout for the first ever time. Like I said, her last fight was at 150. She's competed regularly at 145. She's been up as high as lightweight at 155. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. But like I said, it's a massive signing from the UFC. I just wanted to jump on and do a quick video because it is, like I said, the biggest breaking news story of this year, in my opinion. And I'm really excited for the signing of Kayla Harrison to the UFC. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks for your time. George St. Pierre, Alexander Volkanovski, Tyson Fury. What do these three men all have in common? They're at the top of their game and they're clean shaved, and you could be too with Manscaped. The MMA Sucker podcast is happy to announce that we are now sponsored by Manscaped, and you can get a massive 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SUCKER at checkout. Now, a little bit about Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in men's below the waist grooming, offering precision engineering tools for your family jewels. With Valentine's Day just around the corner, there's no better time to invest in the all-new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, designed to elevate your grooming game. As part of the Performance Package, we have the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, which I've been lucky enough to get my hands on, and it is a quality bit of kit. Quality bit of kit. The electric trimmer features skin-safe technology, making it harder for you to nick yourself than it would be to land on prime Anderson Silver. It also comes with their brightest ever LED spotlight yet. It's brighter than the lights of the UFC. I mean, come on, guys, check this out. Got that. Look at that bright light. Brighter than the lights of the UFC, I'm telling you. On top of that, it's also waterproof, making shower shaves an absolute breeze. But that's not everything. This package also features the Weed Whacker 2.0 nose hair trimmer, Manscaped's liquid formulations, and 2 free goodies. The Shed travel bag, which I've been, again, lucky enough to get my hands on, and Boxers 2.0, because let's be honest, guys, comfort is king. And for those of you that want the sculptured Roy Nelson-esque beard, Manscaped brings you the Beard Hedge Pro Kit, designed to shape your scruff effortlessly. It sculpts the cheek lines and maintains the beard style to give you the suave look for every single occasion, especially those romantic occasions with Valentine's Day coming up. Join 10 million, let that sink in, 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com to bag 20% off with the code SUCKER. Is that enough? No? Throw in free worldwide shipping. Like I said, head over to manscaped.com, use the code SUCKER, that's SUCKA at checkout, for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Thank me later, your balls will thank you.